What's up, family? I'm Tony, recovered food addict. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day off the gray sheet. This gray sheet right here, right in my phone. Call my handsome sponsor at 9:40 p.m. every night. Don't eat no matter what, and eat no matter what. Meaning since the game the gray sheet, I'm never hungry. And I've just realized that this is a European meeting. I talk really fast, and a lot of people can't understand me. I see Frankie smiling. Um, so I'll talk a little slower. I came into this program at 400 pounds. I look like that. And now I'm half the man I used to be. How did I do that? Well, I'm Italian, I'm Irish. My drug of choice is more what Frankie has, more what Doreen has, whatever. I don't want to break everybody's name at the meeting because we get the tape, but my drug of choice is more. I love more, 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 more. I need more of everything. I don't have one tattoo. I'm covered in tattoos. I don't have one ABC t-shirt. I have a bunch. ABC is the name of my company. I started when I got sober. And I've been doing this gray sheet thing, since February 11th, 2018. Nobody's more surprised than I am. Coming into the program, I actually came in January of 2017, and I cupped for a month. If anybody here cups, good for you. I'm a weigher and a measurer. I was hangry, I was hungry, and I was angry. I did lose 30 pounds in a month, though. So if you want to lose weight fast, start cupping. And yeah, but I'm a weigher and a measurer, and it worked for me. Coming in at 400 pounds, I had sleep apnea, had diabetes, I can't see my feet, much less anything else below my belly. I'd sit in chairs and break them. I've broken toilet seats. It's just a demoralizing, incomprehensible life at being a morbidly obesity person. Um, I had many, many gym memberships in my lifetime. I tried a lot of different weight loss programs. I did Jenny Craig, Nutrisystems. I've been hypnotized, uh, lean cuisine, the whole 9 yards, everything. I was on contests with friends, who could lose the most weight. I joined the gym and just sit in a sauna and just turn into a raisin. Oh, we're not talking about specific food, sorry. But I would lose weight however I could, but I could never keep it off. I never had clear cut directions like Gray Sheet has. Gray Sheet is the simplest thing I've ever done. It is not easy by any means, but it's simple. And when I came in, like I said, I'm Italian, I'm Irish. On my street where we lived, there was 9 houses. We're all related. So if you love me, you fed me, right? So I go to house to house to house, get a little something, something. What us Italians like more. We like carbohydrates with sugar on it. We'll forget about it. It just we like a lot. So, and I remember when I was a kid going to school, to like grade school and the little school, you'd get a protein, you get a vegetable, you get a carbohydrate, you get a little white liquid, and that was great. So in my grade in Babylon High School in New York, from kindergarten to sixth grade, you'd have a balanced meal. Seventh through 12th grade, you'd go to the high school, it's called the Babylon Junior High School, and now we would go out every day for lunch and eat whatever we wanted. And whatever we wanted was what? Sugary carbohydrates with fat on them. It was ridiculous. I blew up like a tick. And I remember my friends saying, Tone, you really should watch what you eat because when you get older, it's going to be really hard to lose weight. Well, I had no idea. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that I was addicted to sugar, carbs, and grains. I knew when I stopped drinking in the 80s that if I had a little bit of alcohol, I wanted more. I didn't realize that the same thing happened with sugar, carbs, and grains. And I went on a retreat one time, 20 plus years ago. There was a guy there. He was fat like me. I was like, I'm done being fat. You want this sweatshirt? So I gave it to him. We exchanged phone numbers. Next time I saw him, he was a normal sized dude. I says, hey, how's it going? You new? He's like, no, I'm so and so. I said, yeah, sure you are. Would you get surgery, you cheater? And he says, no, I weigh and measure. And he gave me the pitch. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, good for you. I go to OA. But he planted that mustard seed of hope. It's all I needed was a little bit of hope. A mustard seed is only about this big, you know. So, what's hope stand for? Hold on, pain ends, hearing other people's experiences, happy our program exists. And I'm sure there's a million other acronyms that I haven't thought of yet. But he planted that seed. We exchanged numbers. He lived in Queens. I lived on the island, probably 30, 40 miles apart. So I didn't really I can't hear. I gotta go. Thanks. Um, I didn't know what I didn't know. And when I saw this guy was fat like me, and then he lost 220 in a year, which is absolutely mind blowing. It took me 2 years to lose 200 pounds, but it is what it is. I lost it. You know what I mean? I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it is. It gave it away. I know that at the end of anything that I pick up, I could get my misery refunded tenfold. You know, and so actually I got another anniversary. So February 26, 2014, I had a massive pulmonary embolism in my driveway. A pulmonary embolism is blood clots. I had 100% of my lung was 100% clogged with blood clots, and I had a big clot behind my left knee. I was in my truck, all 400 pounds of me. I pissed my pants, and I was like, interesting. Now I got to go change. Not that I piss my pants on a daily basis, but and I felt myself pass out, and I fell out of the truck, and I was in the driveway for like 20 minutes. It just snowed. It was freezing out. My tenant found me. She's like, "You all right?" I said, "I don't think so." She goes, "You want me to call somebody?" And I was like, 911 would be nice. And they called the ambulance, the cops, whatever. They came, they threw me in an ambulance, and they put oxygen in me. I was like, "Oh, that's all I needed was oxygen." I had no idea that I had blood clots. Um, and I got to the hospital. I'm a real wise guy. I'm like, they're like, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know. I was shoveling my driveway. I pissed my pants and I passed out." They're like, "Did it snow?" I said, "No." Like, what are you talking about? You know, right before I woke up, I saw the most beautiful blue sky, big puffy clouds. I was like, I could breathe. So I went to the pearly gates and it was locked. I woke up. When I went to the pearly gates, I'm Catholic, so that's what I believe in. But when I went to the pearly gates, if the door was open, we wouldn't be having this conversation because I'd be dead. Well, P.S. God saved me for a reason, a season. I don't know why he saved me. He saved me. I had a gun in my mouth. I was going to blow my brains out in the 80s. And my sister came home and found me and said, "What are you doing?" And I went to, the hospital and I got help. Then I came into Gray Sheet, 30 years later, which is mind blowing, and I stayed. Well, actually, the first time I came in, I didn't stay. I went out, but then I came back February 10th, and I remember, once you have a pulmonary embolism, now you go to a lot of doctors, and all the doctors are like, "Anthony, you got to lose weight. You're gonna die." I said, "All right, let's just do the surgery." They're like, "Fine." Like, Google what you can eat on the surgery. I was like, "Oh, F that. There's no way I'm gonna do that. I'll just kill myself." And then I called that guy. Thank God I had his number. He told me to meet him in a meeting, and I did. And back up a little, but when I came in January, I came with a friend to OA. I went to OA for many, many years. I gained and lost 100 pounds probably 5 times. And then I went to the Gray Sheet with that lady. I bought the Gray Sheet 12 and 12. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they wrote a book about me." And it really identified with a lot of stuff in the step book. And like I said, I cupped for a month, and then I went to a restaurant with my family, and I eyeballed the meal. And the sponsor says, "How'd you do?" I said, "I don't know. It looked all right." He goes, "Did you weigh and measure?" I said, "No, why would I? I was in public. What are you, nuts?" I was in front of my family. They're like, "We weigh and measure without exception." I was like, well, I didn't do that. He goes, "All right, you have to start over." I'm like, "Oh, I'm about fungal. I'm out of here." So I left, and thank God I came back. Thank God I came back. I came back, and I called that guy and I met him in a meeting. It was Mineola, and I was that guy. When you see a person walk, well, I don't know if you guys ever had a real live meeting, but we used to have live meetings in New York. We still have a couple. And I walked in that meeting and I looked around. Everybody was a normal size. You come to OA, everybody's fat. Everybody's on the sponsor line. "Oh, you want what I have? Do what I do." I'm like, I was on the sponsor line in OA at 360 pounds. I wouldn't want what I had. So, but I came into a Gray Sheet and the lady was speaking. She had 10 years. She was so happy. She was like weighing and measuring. I never saw the lady again. She's another Gray Sheet angel, and I remember what I had for breakfast. It wasn't abstinent, but lunch and dinner was. And then I was doing meal by meal by meal. I was like, "Oh, this is like watching paint dry. This is too much." I don't know how, where, or why I decided, let me make like a week's worth of breakfasts and a week's worth of lunches. Now I make 2 weeks worth of breakfasts and 10 lunches. So for 10 days in a row, I just grab a lunch and a breakfast, and I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. And so I had no idea that someday I'd be doing what you guys do. When my sponsor told me what he did, I said, "This sounds like a cult. I will never say that mantra. You guys are out of your freaking minds. Nobody's going to tell me what to say, how to do, how to act, and I'm just another bozo on the bus." You know, I do as everybody else does, and I'm a satisfied customer. I sponsor a lot of people, and
10
I just
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks. I got another hour to go. Thank you so much. So, you know, all I ask for my sponsees is to call 3 people a day and get on a meeting every day. Get on a meeting every day. Get on a meeting every day. It's not really a hard thing to do. You know, clear cut directions, 3 way to measure meals a day. Simple, not easy. It takes time. Time takes time. How does like people get 20, 30, 40 years abstinent? Day at a time, and I can never pay back Gray Sheet what's so freely given me. You don't have to believe in God. I believe in God. God saved my life back in the 80s when I had a gun in my mouth. God saved my life when I came to Gray Sheet. God saves my life on a daily basis. Every once in a while, I'll have a short serenity prayer, effort, and I want to do it my way, and I don't want to weigh and measure, and this is too much work and too much shopping, too much shopping. I remember when I first came in, my sponsor said, "Who's doing this for you?" I said, "Who's going to work? Who's buying the food? Who's shopping? Who's chopping? What? Me. I'm doing it." He's like, "You're missing the point. It's God. God, good orderly direction, gift of desperation, group of drunks, whatever your God needs to be. You don't have to believe in God, but you got to believe in a power greater than yourself that's not you. But my God is God. I grew up Catholic, so I got a God. And they have that other thing, no God, no peace, like NO or KNOW. That's a pretty. I like to write that on cards and whatnot. I've been to a lot of retreats, Gray Sheet retreats. I've been to roundups. I've been to 1 day retreats. I did an AWOL when I had like less than 2 years. I have a spiritual experience as a result of doing the work. Coming to a 12-step program and not doing steps is like going to the gym and sitting in the parking lot for an hour. Get anything out of it? No, but I went, but you didn't get out of the car. So coming to a 12-step program and not doing the 12 steps and living them and, just change. What do you got to change? Just got to change everything. Um, I went to get an estimate for a tummy tuck, and because losing 200 pounds, I got the midsection skin around, and I'm on blood thinners for life, so I'm not eligible to get that. But I did get my teeth done. It's the first thing you see on a person anyway. You see their teeth, right? You see the smile. You don't necessarily need to see the fat belly, but you know. So you know, I could never, like I said, I say it more than once. I can never pay back Reishi was so freely given. Nobody told you I love you today. I love you. I struggled a long time. Having Italian parents, the elephant in the room. I'm 62 and a half years young. And, just recently my mom's been writing love M&D. I tell my dad all the time, Dad, I love you. And he's like, ditto. I'm like, kid, what's so hard to say love you back? He's Italian, whatever. No offense to you Italians, but it is what it is. I love my dad. My dad's the president of a soup kitchen and wine there. She feeds like they have 100 hot meals every day, 5 days a week. He's 82 years young, and it's amazing. Again, and then everybody's like, "Oh, your parents must be so proud of you." I'm like, they probably are, but I would never know because they're Italian and Irish. We don't talk, but we do talk. And actually been procrastinating about getting a passport. I actually went and did it 2 weeks ago. So I'm supposed to go to Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland, but I'm supposed to go to, when am I supposed to go? Italy in September, 3 days after my birthday. So that'll be like my 63rd birthday to myself. I got invited to a friend, be a +1 for a friend's wedding. I don't even know the person, but I know the person that's bringing me. So it should be interesting. I'm going to get to weigh and measure in another country. I'm going to get to weigh and measure everywhere we go. I have scales in all my vehicles. I don't even ride my motorcycle anymore, and I have a scale on my motorcycle. I signed up in February to walk at least a mile every day. 29 days in February, I walked 104.5 miles. Why? Because I'm an addict. Addicted to more. That's all I ever do is more. So again, if you're new or you're struggling, welcome. If you're new and you never share and you go out, we're not going to miss you. So please, if you're new, just raise your hand. Even if you just want to claim a seat, say, "Hi, I'm Joe Baba," whatever your name is. Not that there's any Joes on the meeting, but you know what I mean? I love grabbing that shy person and being like, "Hey, you want what I have? Do what I do." And like I said, I sponsor a lot of people that go out and they come back. Thank God they come back. You know, Slipping and slide is not a requirement, but sometimes we do that. And I have 3 yummy, ridiculous, delicious meals a day and nothing in between. And I spoke at a meeting a couple weeks ago, an AA meeting. I saw somebody I haven't seen in a long time, and he looked at me and I go, "Hey, how's it going?" He had no idea who I was. And when I told him who I was, I hadn't seen him in 10 years. He's looking at me like this, so I got physical anonymity today. If I don't want to say hello to somebody, I don't have to because nobody recognizes me. But once they hear my sharp tongue, they know who I am.
That's 15 minutes.
Thank you so much. I'm quite the loving, wise guy. And again, if nobody told you I love you today, I love you. Thanks everybody for being here. And see you on meeting. Thanks.